guy is not okay. So I think we don't know because I don't think because it's not something we can see. I think also plays a role as we've come in society, as you said. We like there was a way we made fun of that topic, the idea of mental health. And I think in one of our episodes we had said people take it as if I tell you my problem, the answer, simple answer is don't worry, everyone else is going through problem. So what is mental health? Hi guys, welcome to the EP podcast, the best mental health podcast in Africa. Yes, we said it. This week we're talking about stigma,
Uh-huh.
mental health stigma, and as usual, um, let's invite guys. Let's invite guys. So
Sure.
welcome one and all to the EM podcast, the best mental health podcast in Africa. Huh, we said
Uh-huh.
it
Yeah,
again. We
you
said
said
it.
it again.
Yeah, so welcome. Today we talk about stigma as usual, as not as usual, stigma associated with mental health. And we just want to see the challenges that people are facing, the type of stigmas people have, and what's the way forward? How can we solve it? October is the mental health month. What
Mhm.
date is it again? Yeah, but this month is mental health, but every month should be mental health day.
Yeah.
So just
Not
keep
every month, even every day.
exactly. We want to talk about mental health, man, and stigma associated. So before I ask you a question, Enoch, I'm just gonna put the meaning of stigma so that guys understand what you're talking about. It says, according to Google, who is your
Uh,
friend, it says stigma, a mark of disgrace associated with a particular circumstance, quality, or person. And I think when it comes to mental health, uh, you deal mostly with circumstance. So let
okay.
me put it this way: as you grew up in this
Mhm.
African setting,
Uh-huh.
what was your idea of mental health? What was your what was your general idea when you had someone say this person has mental illness or has a mental problem? What came to your mind?
Okay, for me, I think mostly when somebody spoke that word out, the first thing which came onto my mind was a person with psychotic. Yeah, in it.
Psychotic.
Yeah.
Let me explain psychotic because psychotic is. Why did you understand by psychotic one? In the African setting, I'm trying to understand how we grew up because as
Mhm.
we've grown up, our minds and thoughts have changed on how. You remember in African, we used to call them abu, meaning abnormal for those who for the full times abnormal, and
Exactly. That is the
we
word
used to use
I was looking for.
yeah, even our parents use these words. So it's not when you'll have to put whether you'll have to start putting this here so people
Okay.
understand what you're talking about. I think that's important. So
Mhm.
for those of our audiences who go,
Mhm.
YouTube likes reminding us, not majority are not in Kenya, but as usual, so you have to put that for them so that everybody feels included.
All
Um,
right.
there was that aspect of feeling like there was just something wrong. Even the way we associated with these guys, it was, I think, we mocked them, and we grew up together. So we knew some people who had like the extreme end of mental health. At that time, we grew it. We just call them crazy lunatics, and that's the side we knew. And so, how we were raised, people used to say "abu," meaning abnormal. As I said earlier, they're just people you don't associate them with. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, we associated abnormal mental illness with the drug abuse. I don't remember if you know. I don't
Yeah.
think you remember that because it was if you're I think if you're we used to consider homeless people in Nairobi. You call them in Kenya. You call them chokoras. Those homeless
Yeah.
guys. We used to
Mhm.
consider them with madness. It was just something associated with that because that was not a norm to us for people to live outside.
Mhm.
Yeah. So how did you? as you grow up, what was some of the things that you readily admit that society taught you towards this
Mm,
issue of mental illness?
yeah, apart from saying that they were maybe drug addicts who have gone to that extreme,
Yeah,
the other thing also people used to say maybe they were bewitched.
yeah.
That's
Oh, yeah.
why
Welcome to
they
Africa.
are behaving.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Maybe they are insane. So you see,
Uh,
such
uh-huh.
things were associated with those people who are insane, which I
I
think
think I,
people don't understand why people suffer from such illnesses.
and I think I'll go further. You remember those guys who had epilepsy? Epilepsy. We also kind of put them in that same category. I don't know why. That like these kids have mental health. They're likely bewitched. I think we just saw epilepsy is bewitching and so on. So as we grew up, we didn't understand this, and I think now as we're getting to this age, now we're starting to see we were part of the problem because we made fun of guys who had mental illness, and you're talking about the extreme. Before we get to the ones that we actually have come to learn, the depression and so on. We didn't know what depression was as we were growing up. We just knew
No.
people were stressed. It was we were told it's a normal thing. As I again I asked you, so
Mhm.
as you grew up, and this is just something we want you guys to comment. As you grew up, what was your idea of mental health? What went through your mind when someone told you they had mental problems? What came to your mind? So please remember to comment and subscribe, guys. Subscribe. So yeah, I'm talking too much, but
Okay.
getting ready of the YouTube stuff. We have to do the YouTube stuff because
Mhm.
it's so as we grew, the idea of mental health, and I think between me and you, now we are coming to learn of it more and more and more. So, what would you say were some of the things you did? I don't want to put you on the spot, but I have to that perpetuated this idea of mental health and stigma that went around it. Is that
Mm.
because we all did it. I don't want to say we are perfect, and I think that's the platform we want to give guys just to talk. Mm-hmm.
Is in a community where people view things in a certain way, you
Mm-hmm.
grow up uh, adopting that notion or type of thinking,
Yeah.
which as you go on, it comes to affect how you associate with certain people or certain situations, which
Mm-hmm.
was not nice. Even me, when I was growing up, before going to college and learning about this addiction, diseases, uh, some situations that you might find yourself in, I used to ridicule some people. Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's true, it's true. Because
Uh-huh.
I used to laugh at those people who are insane.
Yeah.
Throw some stuff to them, like when you meet them, or when I see them, I run away from them.
Yeah, that's the Kenyan thing. I think we also had a game. I don't know. We used to chase a particular boy. Remember
Mm-hmm.
during that time, and he used to chase us. So I think that was the idea we used. And yeah, man, those were tough times. So I think even I, as I grew up, that issue was there. The issue of making fun of them and the whole association of the stigmatization. And I don't know, because first I'll say about just to start about Madare, this Madare hospital. Before we come now to the one, what was your thoughts when you heard about it, and of what you know what they actually do now? What was your thoughts when you just had Madare mental hospital?
Madhara is a very big hospital in Kenya, which deals with
Mm-hmm.
a lot of mental issues.
Mm-hmm.
And when you hear that word Madhare, you know that if you are going there and you are finished, or you are going to meet some people who
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
you are going to meet people who are beyond repair. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I think that,
that's according to some people.
yeah, that's what we knew. That's what we
Mhm.
knew because as a society, none of us have full information or sufficient information to know how to actually what those guys do. And hopefully, one of these days, we'll have a doctor from there or a psychiatrist, someone
Mhm.
who just deals with mental health. If you know one and you'd like to do something with us, talk about this more, please. As usual, link in the description below. Yeah, but what we understood by that, and I'm going through this conk method of questioning because
Mhm.
in Kenya, once we had, as we grew up, once we had the idea of mental health, we took
Mhm.
it to the extreme. Leave, it was the extreme. No
Yeah.
clothes, nothing. Women walking naked, men walking naked,
Mhm.
craziness. That's what
Mhm.
we knew, and that's what we also knew Madare Hospital to be. Remember,
Mhm.
and that's what we associated that place to be. And that's why when we say now, as we're learning, we're realizing, oh, they actually do. People who actually now are facing mental health problems are people like you and me, because according to the WHO, they're saying 1 out of every 4 persons
Mhm.
has a mental health problem. What do you think of that stats? 1 out of 4 has a
That,
mental. So if I'm thinking, let's use an example. If you're five in a family, meaning likely one of you is
yeah.
very likely to have one form of mental health problems. What do we do, man? What?
That is that is mind blowing, man. That is mind boggling. Uh, really, people don't understand that everyone, not even I would say 1 out of 4 even. I'll say almost everybody has a mental issue.
Okay,
If we
all of us are
understand
not
that,
okay.
yeah, we are not okay. If we understand
Mm-hmm,
that, we won't ridicule or discriminate other people.
mm-hmm.
And right now, since people have not been sensitized on issue of mental health and illnesses, that's why they are ending up to maybe talk badly about other people, which
Yeah,
affects people negatively.
yeah. As you said, there's no awareness, and what we have been taught and what we see around us as we grow up, that is what we portray. So mental illness means the extreme, people walking naked and so on. So when it says 1 in 4, all of us, at least in African community, as we grew up, we have at least more than 2, 3 kids in the house. So if you're putting that into context, there are at
Mhm.
least 4 people in the house or more at any given time. So if 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 you're thinking of that, meaning at least one of those people had a mental problem as you're growing up, and you're saying all of us have that issue.
Uh,
So why do we think we find it so hard to talk about mental illness? And why is it so hard? Why the stigma around it associated with it? We don't want to talk about it.
we have made it to sound so bad that
Mm-hmm,
when you hear about you are suffering from maybe diseases that affect us mentally, even when you
mm-hmm,
hear about HIV, you
yeah.
see, people view
Mm-hmm,
you in a
mm-hmm,
certain uh, with a certain face,
yeah.
which is wrong.
Yeah. Because I
So
think
I think
yeah, and
people fear talking about it. You don't know that you're ending up to lower the self-esteem of another person.
yeah, I think that plays a role. Also, I think if you listen to most guys, the information we have about mental health is because I think the problem also because we don't understand it. You know what I mean? Because mental health is not like when AIDS came into Africa, or as your parents tell you about these stories, how guys were just like shrinking in size so fast, or like cancer. What you actually see the effects. The modern type of mental health illness you're facing is mostly depression and other OCDs and so on. People don't see them, so people think it's just become a regular formula of excuse, or you do stuff because have mental health problems. So I think people don't want to talk, don't know anything about it because mental health we don't see it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so if I have a problem, like the most times when we're talking about why people should not commit suicide because we care, most of the times we do not see the problem the guy is going through. We have to be very specific in checking his behavior. Then now I see. Now, this, I'm not okay. This guy is not okay. So I think we don't know because I don't think because it's not something we can see. I think also plays a role as we've come in society, as you said. We like there was a way we made fun of that topic, the idea of mental health. And I think in one of our episodes we had said people take it as if I tell you my problem, the answer, a simple answer is don't worry, everyone else is going through the same problem. So what is mental health? We really can't. Then we assume it's not a thing because if I tell you I'm having stresses that are not normal, and you tell me everybody's going through the same thing, then really are we? Is there something as stress? What do you think about that, man?
What I can tell you is that this thing is the biggest elephant right now in the room, and
Mm-hmm.
if we don't deal with it, it's gonna be something bigger that we can fail to very well. So
Yeah.
if we fear to talk about it, then people who are suffering from this kind of illnesses will
Mm-hmm.
go under the table, and
Yeah.
maybe there are conditions which could have been managed well, and maybe they could have lived a better life.
Mm-hmm.
Will not be able They will not be able to be helped at the right time. So I think it's the highest time that people come out
Mm-hmm.
and start to accept that we have this and this kind of problem.
Yeah, as you say, the elephant in the room. I think pandemic only helped to actually show how big the elephant is and how small the room is, right? So all of us, at some extent, we have a very huge problem when it comes to mental health, but it's rare for people to talk about it because I think also one of the reasons, as we had said, why we started this YouTube channel, we ourselves did not have all the information we wanted. So when we do these videos, guys, we're just like you. We want to soak up information on mental health so
Mhm.
that it helps us and the people around us, and also you at home. So I'm thinking if you're going to go down on that same path, most of us do not want to accept that there's a problem because we still have, as you say, there's a stigma. There's some information about mental health we have that we don't want to clean out. So let's just get to the point. What do we do now?